Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Alright, today I'm going to talk about sports cards and the sentiment that I've noticed. Okay, in the previous videos I was talking about how the market has been going down. Some of these cards that we saw for $90,000 are selling for about $23,000 to $24,000. The Michael Jordan PSA 9 Fleer 86. And while I see that, there are some cards that are doing well right now. For instance, there's the Simone Biles auto cards. For some reason, people are buying that up, probably in anticipation of the Olympics. So there are cards going up, there's no doubt about that. But you see some of the cards that we see over and over again, those cards are going down. So anything that has a high population count or even a semi-high population count, those cards tend to be going down as there's no arbitrage opportunities for that. Anyways, guys, before I get into the sentiment part, I have been picking up some cards. As I've been selling some cards, I'm getting some profits. I'm still waiting to get paid on some of those because the auction houses take a while. Sometimes some of them pay right away, like Probstein, but it's more of a cash advance. For instance, PWCC, you have to wait. I'm waiting on that. And then there's another one that's sold, so I'm just waiting for cash. But anyways, I'm not spending too much money. I bought this one Kwame Brown auto. And the thing is that Kwame Brown's YouTube page has gone up the roof from 11,000 subscribers to 330,000. And I liked how he was bashing the media. I don't necessarily agree with everything that he's saying. Here's a 2001, 2002 Topps Pristine. BGS 9.5. A little bit of mom's cooking here. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm not spending an arm and a leg, and I'm not here to profit off of it. It's just more of like, you know, I like what he has to say. So I wanted to buy his card. And the thing is, when it comes to the sports card sentiment now, I'm going to show you one of the cards later on. I see that a lot of people are very bearish, and a lot of people they don't want to buy the cards right now. On the other hand, you have people that are invested in this business that are saying, let's buy the dips. Don't worry about these pullbacks. I'm going to buy these cards. So here's the thing. I used to do a YouTube channel about gold and silver. I still do it on time to time. And I remember the days where I was deeply underwater. And I saw all these guys, they're reassuring their viewers saying, don't worry about this pullback, dollar cost average, this thing's going back up. Well, guess what? The gold market ended up tanking for about 4 years. It was a slow decline. And it didn't recover its gains until the pandemic. And not all of the stocks have recovered. As I've mentioned, there's maybe a few, maybe like Franco-Nevada, but that's not really a gold miner. But a lot of stocks still are underwater. And I'm sure some people are still underwater in their gold portfolio, silver portfolio from those days. Not the gold portfolio, but if they're looking at miners, if they're looking at silver eagles, they're still underwater in some of those positions. And the gold market and silver market peaked in 2011. Now, I'm not saying the card market is going to be like that, but it's always in the back of my head. And that's why I started selling some of these cards that went up maybe 10-fold, 15-fold, 20-fold. And it was a few years, I'm like, I'm getting rid of them. I may buy them cheaper in the future. But that being said, the market doesn't go down in a straight line like this. There's always times where the market goes slightly back up, but then it goes further down. And that's what I expect will happen. Since there's so much bearishness, so many people asking why has the market gone down. I was talking about a few months ago, I did a video with Don, my buddy, and he was saying, yeah, this thing, as the economy opens back up, the market's going to head down. And I saw a comment from one of his videos saying that, okay, now maybe a better time to get in. Even though we still know that, or both of us know, that this market is probably going to go much lower in a few years. But there may be opportunities. I'm not telling you to buy right now. I am looking at some cards right now. I'm not speculating too much. This is a Chloe Kim card. This is Auto PSA DNA Cert, or whatever they call it. PSA DNA, yeah. I bought another one of these yesterday. And the thing is, I see Simone Biles cards. They've gone up pretty decently. I was talking about Simone Biles when I first started my channel in November, December. Not many people were watching at that time, and not many people were interested. Now all of a sudden people want to buy Simone Biles because the Olympics is 2 months away. So here's the strategy that I have. I look at companies like Starbucks that buy coffee. I used to trade coffee futures markets, and I remember reading how they like to buy when the price was lower. Price tends to be lower in June-ish. Why? Because no one buys coffee then, so the demand is low. So they buy coffee futures 6 months in advance, and then they obviously get delivery maybe in the fall. I don't know. Regardless, they buy it when it's cheap, 6 months out, 7 months out. And that's what I'm doing with this Chloe Kim card. I talked about the same strategy that I did for Simone Biles. Like, no one really is into female sports. I don't really care about female sports, but most men, they don't look into it. So I view it as an opportunity. And I'm not going to put thousands of dollars into female cards. Now I'm just going to put a little bit here, a little bit there, like I did with Simone Biles. And we sold most of our auto cards. I'm keeping one because that's a PSA 9 and it's PSA 10. So PSA 9 for the card, PSA 10 for the auto. And if I were to sell it right now on eBay, that probably would go for a lot. Now I'm keeping this for the long term though, because I sold a bunch of these cards beforehand. I still have some of the Sports Illustrated for Kids cards. Regardless, that's what I'm doing. So in terms of opportunities, that's what I'm looking at. I want to look at things that no one really looks at. Will some people buy? Sure. But I don't go with the hype. I go against the hype. That's why I was starting to sell a few months ago. And I got a little aggressive now. Now, everyone's talking about this crash. And I want to show you this gold chart from stockcharts.com. And if you look at it, it peaked out in 11, and then it went down hard in 2013. And look, there was a run-up. I think it must have been, what, a $200 run-up in gold. But then it started to, go sideways and down. I'm not saying that the card market's going to go like that, but this pretty much looks like 2013 in terms of the gold market and the sports card market, where, okay, now everything is settling under the surface. Everyone's getting a little negative. Everyone's asking, why did it go down? And I expect a run-up. Probably a run-up up until the holiday season. So Christmas, Hanukkah time, could see a temporary top. I'm not sure. But if I had to take a guess, we may see a good run-up then. And that probably may be a time to sell. Once again, I'm not telling you to buy or sell. I'm just looking at it from a perspective of, I like to buy low and I sell high. And if someone held a gun to my head saying, okay, you need to do something in this market, what would I do? I'd probably buy. Even though I am selling some things, but would I be buying more? If someone gave me $100,000, what would I do? Sit on it or buy? I'd probably buy some of these cards. Okay. That being said, I do understand it's going to be much harder than it was in 2019, 2020, where you saw a steady appreciation in the card market. One thing that I did notice was in 2020 or 2019, we bought a bunch of Jeter cards, I think it was his 93 Tops. There's a PSA 8. We bought it for about $12, and we were happy to sell it for about $23, $24. And people were buying it during the Christmas holiday time, during Hanukkah as well. So I'm seeing all of that from 2019. I'm just thinking, okay, people are starting to spend their money elsewhere. So I would understand why people may be buying right now the sports card market. Even though right now with my own money, I'm not being aggressive. I'm going to be a little more aggressive in the stock market, but the thing is, stock market probably will see a correction. And speaking of the stock market, I wanted to do this in my other videos, but it didn't show up. But I'm looking at these technicians such as Avi Gilbert, JC Perret, and they're indicating that there will be volatility in the market, so the stock market will probably go down. So what does this have to do with the card market? Well, if you look at it back to last year, the card market and the stock market were going hand in hand. So the stock market bottomed out in March, the card market bottomed out in March, and also Bitcoin. And then it was off to the races. Now the stock market is still rallying for the S&P at least. The card market, not so much. Only some scarce cards that are going up. So if I had to take an educated guess, if Avi Gilbert and JC Perret are correct about the stock market and it starts to go down, this summer we could probably see a decent buying opportunity in the stock market. And also from a speculative position, during that stock market bottom, if that happens, the card market may bottom at that moment. I'm talking about everything that we're looking at. We're talking about all these commons. We're talking about all these high-end cards. I would not be surprised. And I'm also seeing some technical analysts talking about Bitcoin going to about $20,000. Now, I can't confirm or deny whether all technical analysts are looking at that and how Bitcoin's going to trade that low. But if it does go low and we see Bitcoin going to $20,000 maybe in the next few months, who knows? It may bottom out at the same time the sports card market is bottoming out. But I will see. We'll all see. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys are doing. Are you looking at any bargains? Are you looking at any particular cards? I highlighted a few cards in my previous videos. The LeBron James Sports Illustrated for Kids went from $800 to about $130, the PSA 9. I talked about the Fleer 86 PSA 9 going from $90,000 to about $23,000. PSA 10 went from $750,000, I believe, to about maybe $280,000. The last one sold on Golden Auctions, the PSA 10s. So we're seeing these huge drops. If you see this in the stock market takes months to drop like this. The card market, it's just going down really aggressively. I'm quite surprised. But what comes up must go down. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below. And I'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks.